What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having a fantastic day today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you guys already know, I am finally back home so I can start discussing and covering all of the hot, juicy details that have dropped over the course of the beginning of this week. But before we dive deep into those hot, juicy details, I'll probably push those back another video or two, because the devs over at Splitgate came out over on Reddit and did an open Q&A. So today I want to go ahead and discuss each and every one of those details and all of the things that you can expect coming into the future of Splitgate 2. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, before we go and dive deep, if you guys are interested in more content like this, don't forget subscribing and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern time. Everything between Splitgate, Call of Duty, Battlefield, and even Ark Raiders. Once all these games start dropping and we can really start diving deep into them and getting real gameplay footage and good coverage, then by all means, like I said, subscribe and hit that bell because you can see it all on this channel. And last but not least, I am going to be live today over on Twitch. So if you guys want to catch up with me or even hang out a little bit, hop into the open lobbies, you can find a link to my Twitch channel down in the description of this video. All right, ladies and gentlemen, enough yapping because there are so many questions that we have to go ahead and discuss, and I don't want this to be like a 20-minute long video. Fingers crossed, it doesn't end up that way. But starting off here by Sir Fappingsworth. What an interesting name, man. How soon will we have the following? Match history, practice range, kill cams, account leveling. Forcing a launch date without the above feels extremely underbaked, considering the first game had all of these things. Fix the phantom loadout notifications and make the interact key prioritize plant/defuse over weapon pickups too. And Ian went ahead and responded saying, thanks for the question. The UI team is working on a career page now, which includes match history. But this also requires engineering work, so it's a bit a ways and not as high on our priority list as things like mastery camo or ranked, but it is coming. In the meantime, you can check your stats and match history on Tracker Network. The level design team just finished the block out for the practice range. There's some more work to do, but we are working on it now. I'd say this will be there certainly within the next few months. I love kill cams, but we're using UE5's new networking system called Iris, which does not currently support replays. We chose to use it because it is better optimized, which means better hit reg and netcode, but it does mean we can't have kill cams until Iris supports it, which they plan to do. We felt this was a good trade-off because our top priority is having great gunplay. Thank you, Ian. I really do appreciate that because the gunplay is very crispy. We have seen some requests for this. We didn't plan to originally have it because we have weapon and faction levels, but I think it's a cool idea and it's something we are exploring. Keep letting us know feature requests like this. It helps us know what to prioritize. Again, I think this is a response to the account leveling. And then, yeah, that phantom loadout thing drives me nuts too. We are working on it now. The interact key does currently prioritize plant/defuse over pickups as long as you aren't looking at a pickup. But I agree, it's a bit finicky and we'll look into ways to improve this. Next up, here's a pretty good question by Telexium saying, hey, thanks for doing this AMA. Let's address the elephant in the room. You talked about wanting to improve the FPS genre and started out by focusing on arena shooters, a niche but passionate community. But from introducing class-based systems to teasing a battle royale mode, which historically hasn't been kind to arena games, it feels like to many of us like you're shifting away from the core identity that made Splitgate special in the first place. Can you help clarify your vision? Are you trying to make FPS great, or specifically arena shooters great? And Ian went ahead and responded saying, my vision has always simply been to make the best game possible. I love arena shooters, but I also love a lot of different genres of games. Arcade shooters, battle royales, RPGs, etc. Honestly, I just play everything, and I don't think one genre is better than another. My goal with introducing classes was simply to make the game better. I always found myself wanting more variety in Splitgate 1, but we didn't have the team size or resources to do more. With Splitgate 2, classes allow us to have more ways to play and more depth. And honestly, as a gamer, I just really enjoy playing them all and mixing up the guns. That said, there's a reason the classes are subtle changes and don't have ultimates. We wanted the game to be 90% about gunplay, movement, and portals, and the classes/loadouts to be the extra 10%. As for the BR, I actually had this idea very early on in Splitgate's development, and even prototyped a very basic map of Split Worlds in 2020. I never wanted to chase a trend, but felt we could make an arena shooter BR hybrid that was true to Splitgate with unique elements like the massive 100-foot tall portals connecting multiple worlds, and of course being able to portal and pick up power weapons as you can in arena. Regardless though, I just wanted to make fun games, and I think our BR is incredibly fun. I love playing BR and arena pretty evenly, to be honest. This response right here was amazing, if I'm going to be completely real with you. I love his mentality, all of their mentalities, on putting together a game that is all about, again, gunplay, movement, and portals, you know? And then having the classes and other things like that to add a bit more spice into the game, but nothing crazy, right? We don't want this game to be completely class dependent, which it isn't. All the classes are viable in my personal opinion. They're nicely balanced. Well, obviously some things could be tweaked here and there, but compared to other games, yeah, you know, at the end of the day, just like Ian said here, the whole game revolves around portals, movement, and also gunplay. That's it. And honestly, I think that's a great foundation, and I believe in the future of what they have here, as long as they can cover all of these game modes across the board. Next up here, a question by the legend himself, Tits McGee, saying, Ian, can you clarify how you were unaware of the $80 skin bundle? You shifted the blame to your team, but as the CEO and lead developer, shouldn't this have been on your radar? I understand the game is free to play, but you stated that this bundle was not meant to be priced at 80 USD. It's hard to imagine something like this slipping through the cracks. This comes across less like an oversight and more like a calculated move to test the waters, and Ian responded saying, "Totally fair question. I didn't intend for it to come off as shifting blame. As CEO, everything ultimately is my responsibility. The honest truth, though, is I was unaware of the $80 bundle and would never have allowed it to go live. But that doesn't matter because it did. So we took action immediately within 24 hours and cut the price in half. Going forward, I've set up meetings every Monday with our new product manager, Matt, who is awesome, and Derek, our lead game designer, also awesome, to make sure I have visibility of everything going live in the store and playlist that week so that this doesn't happen again. Regarding how this happened, it was a result of 3 primary things. Basically, everything in our store was way overpriced until 2 months ago when we parted ways with our previous head of monetization. We quickly audited things and shifted prices to be reasonable, starting with beta. 2, I wasn't super focused on monetization the past few weeks, as I was much more focused on service stability in the beta and getting the game to actually launch in a playable state. And 3, the way our tech works is such that everything is in a massive spreadsheet, but until now, it was hard to actually test what the store would look like prior to it going live. Now we have the ability to test the store for the week internally on a separate branch before setting it live to everyone. So this should help us catch oversights in the spreadsheet. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I know a lot of people want more details behind the scenes on why things turned out the way it did, but of course, you guys know YouTube, or, let's be honest here, all of social media. It's not just YouTube. You go to Twitter, Reddit, and anywhere, absolutely anywhere. There's always going to be the internet, masters of CEOs. We have tons. Oh, yeah, definitely. We have tons of CEOs down in the comment section, ladies and gentlemen, who know everything about business, who are just the almighty wise individuals, and they know exactly what's going on behind the scenes with 1047. So it doesn't matter what the CEO says. There's always going to be some guy in the comments who thinks they know everything, and they're going to just spew out a bunch of noise. Regardless, I'm happy that they dove a little bit more into detail, but of course, like I said before, you can't please everybody. People are going to still find ways to hate. They do it all the time. They do it with my channel, right? They say, oh, stop hating on COD. You stop hating on COD, you go to different games, you discuss different games. Oh, now you're shilling for games. And it's like, okay, well, what do you want me to do? You want me to love a different game? Do you want me to go back to, talking about games I don't enjoy? It's just simply the nature of the beast, that's the internet for you. Next up here is an amazing question by Brilliant Neat saying, will we get a solo or duos for BR? Squads can be crazy difficult as someone that solo queues against stacked teams. And Ian responded saying, maybe. We are constantly monitoring all feedback specifically on this. There would need to be some changes like how respawns work and our balance, so it's not as simple as just turning it on. But the more often we hear a specific request, the more likely it is to happen. I hope it happens. My goodness. I'm not going to really ramble on about this because I have a completely separate video, that's going to really dive deep into everything that I want to see for BR. But I agree with Brilliant. Solo mode would be phenomenal. Next up here, a question by Sharia or something like that saying, how satisfied are you with the player count after release day? Because it seemed like the game did not get to its full potential. On an unrelated note, will we be expecting more games or franchises from 1047 in the coming years? And Ian responded saying, I like Steam to be higher, but overall, I'm happy. Our overall players have tripled since beta, and Xbox and PlayStation continue to grow. Our PC player base is also split across 3 platforms, Steam, Epic Game Store, and Windows Store. Again, another video I've been saving on the back burner. I cannot wait to make this one. But again, the amount of people who look at the Steam charts, and this goes for Call of Duty as well. I've been saying it with COD, because I've been a long time Steam PC player. Steam has always been the most dead platform. Although I will say the trend for Black Ops 6 is kind of scary because obviously Modern Warfare 3 did way better. So clearly it's not doing as popular for PC this time around, and rightfully so. Literally, I stopped playing Black Ops 6 because of how bad the performance was on PC. But if you just simply go to the Xbox charts or the PlayStation charts, you will always see COD as a top seller. Just is what it is. I don't like it. I don't want it to be there because I want change for Call of Duty, but that's just the reality of it. It's hard to go off of Steam charts. And same thing with, Splitgate 2 here. 25k players on Steam. Well, guess what? It's the top most downloaded game on both Xbox and PlayStation, but I'm not going to go too, crazy with this topic because I'm going to save that for another video. Next up, here's a question by Support Desk asking, I was surprised how much you actually changed the formula for Battle Royale after playing it and noticing the marketing represented those changes very little. I'm curious why you didn't try branding it to represent the new formula like Arena Royale. Or since it plays almost more like an open world takedown royale, and avoid some OD that stigma. And Ian responded saying, thanks, we've actually been discussing this the last couple of days, because you're right that just calling it a battle royale doesn't do it justice. It might be too late to change the name now, but we are discussing it. What do you think? Too late to change the name, or just go for it? Curious what you and others in the community think, and it seems, at least down in the comment section, that a lot of people are saying they probably should go ahead and change up the name, but do it on the low. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go ahead and announce any more changes, because God forbid this community is already so toxic as it is right now. Not the main community, but all the, should I call them drifters? Because that's honestly what they are. They're not going to be sticking around. They're just, coming because of the hate to, onboard the train, and then, once they're bored, they're going to leave and never probably touch the game again, but it's no need to fuel them anymore. They get angry and outraged over absolutely anything, and I guarantee they'll be like, oh, look, they just announced a BR, and because of the feedback, they couldn't handle it, and they had to change the name, when in reality, this change would just be, for the better of the community, because that's what this BR is about. It's not like they're changing it. This was their original intention, and I just feel like they didn't have enough time, and maybe a little bit of stress as well, going on stage in front of all those people, just kind of, made it sway into a different direction. It didn't give them enough time to really describe what this BR is all about, because it truly is a completely different experience. And again, I have another video about that coming out in the future here. Next up here, a question by Zero saying, been waiting eagerly for this since yesterday. Thanks for listening to all of us. What's the best time to go dev hunting? I know there's a cosmetic skin if you manage to kill a dev, and I've seen people wearing it, but I don't know the best way to go about looking for you all in game. Any tips or advice? And also, secondly, what kind of weapons are you all thinking of adding to each class next? Example, a burst SMG for each class maybe? I do like the current weapons in the game, don't get me wrong, but I'm curious on what you all might add next. That's all I can think of to ask for right now. Thanks for doing what many devs won't and listening to your community. And Ian responded saying, 1, I'd say probably evening PT is best time. That's when I usually play, and I know a lot of our company does too. We will also do some Discord events in the future to consolidate devs into one playlist at a specific time like we did in the alpha. And 2, great question, you will find out season 2. Oh boy, I cannot wait to see what is going to be introduced into this game. Like I said, the journey is going to be freaking awesome. Watching this game grow is going to be something special. It's sad that we couldn't watch X Defiant, but 1047 deserves it. And I hope that they can go for the long run here, because I think it's going to be a very interesting path. Next up here, a question by Ra saying, I know the health is 100 base, but with armor and BR, can you fill us in on exactly how much health is added per piece of armor upgrade? Thank you. Trying to make a time to kill spreadsheet right now, so any extra info is appreciated. And Ian went ahead and called out Akuvo, who came in and said maybe for $1,000, but he said white armor is 20 HP per bar, 60 HP max. Then each armor upgrade improves that by 5 HP per bar, 15 HP max. And then Ra followed up saying, follow-up question, do you know the headshot multiplier per weapon class or weapon? Not sure how in depth you are willing to go. And Akuvo responded saying, headshots are overridden damage, not a multiplier, so it's different for every gun. If enough people ask for this, I can make a post in the future with specifics for every gun, bro, please. I think a lot of people in the community would absolutely love that. Another question here by Rex Craft saying, can we get it so teammates that get disconnected mid-round can rejoin the game? And Ian responded saying, yes, we are actively working on this now, especially because this is an absolute must-have for ranked. And hearing that is awesome, because if they're trying to plan this for ranked, that means we'll more than likely see this feature within the next week or two for actual pub matches. Because for those who don't know, if a teammate or an enemy leaves, it just fills in the slot with a bot and nobody else can join in that slot. It doesn't put you in games that are already active. Now there's a plus and negative to this, because I love this, let's be real. We always complain in other games that one of the worst things is being put into a match that's already mid-game where you're getting stomped and it's like, okay, that's an instant back out. So it's great that that's not a feature and every game you join is going to be a fresh one. But when people back out, it really kills the experience. And sometimes people back out and it's not even intentional. They might lose connection or something of that sort. So giving them an option to return, even in pub matches, is going to be absolutely huge. Another one here by Imaginary Ad saying, any plans for split screen? Speaking of Halo, some of the most fun I've had playing multiplayer arena games has been with split screen. A lot of the new FPS games seem to abandon this feature, but my uneducated opinion is that there's still a market for it. Not every household can afford a separate TV and console for every player in the house, on top of having multiple online gaming subscriptions. Also, it's just a lot of fun playing local multiplayer in the same room with people. And Ian responded saying, I love split screen, but sadly I think this would be near impossible from a technical perspective with portals and everything going on. So sadly, ladies and gentlemen, it does not seem like we're going to be getting split screen, but I don't know. I think I'm okay with that for Splitgate 2, especially for it being a more so massive, online type of game with arena, onslaught, and all this good stuff, BR. So, it sucks, but It is what it is. Moving on here by Subbizzlerun saying, been having a lot of fun with Splitgate 2. Will there be any earnable cosmetics added to the game? And Ian responded saying, thank you. Yes, we have some already and are actively working on adding mastery camos to the game. You can expect these in the next 2 to 4 weeks. So again, I know I already discussed this in the past because the devs, talked about this on a live stream, but for anybody who might have missed that video and, doesn't know this information, yes, we are going to be having grindable cosmetics coming in the near future, just so we can have an extra progression system in the game. Next up is a question by the Dark Crows saying, any lore/campaign coming? And Ian responded saying, I love shooter campaigns. Titanfall 2, Halo, Doom, and Bioshock are some of my favorite campaigns of all time, and I would love to do one someday for Splitgate. But it is an incredible amount of work, so probably not something to expect anytime soon with our current resources. I think there are ways we can push the lore further with our seasonal themes and content. I will also tell Endo to make more lore videos. Honestly, the lore is actually kind of dope. I didn't even know that there was such thing as a Splitgate comic. So honestly, any more lore would be phenomenal. And I did have a video planned about this. So I'm not going to dive too deep into details, but having a campaign, even if it's 2, 3, 4 years down the road, would be a really cool concept. But again, we'll dive deeper into that topic when we actually go ahead and discuss. And finally, a question here by NBA Card saying, I've been a huge fan since Splitgate 1. What's been your favorite part of building the Splitgate franchise? And Ian responded saying, honestly, my 2 favorite things about this job have nothing to do with Splitgate. They are the team at 1047 and the awesome community we have built. Don't get me wrong, I love Splitgate, but to me the fun part is building a great team that listens to the players and responds accordingly. And seeing the positive response you get from that is incredibly fun and rewarding. I've also made lifelong friendships with members of our community and my teammates at 1047. Ladies and gentlemen, this right here is why I love this development team. They are so freaking genuine. It's just wild to me that so many people out here beg for developers to be open, talk the talk, don't care about the corporate world. When something has to be said, say it. And then when you get a dev team that does this, everybody starts crying and saying, oh, they're being too rude and mean. We need to go back to the corporate apologies. But then every single time, someone like Activision puts out a corporate apology, it's like, oh, this is a load of BS. We need to stray away from this crap. We need real developers. And then you go back over to the Splitgate devs. Oh, they're too real. We need the gaming community is, I'm sorry. I love a lot of you guys. I'm not talking about a lot of you guys either. But anybody who takes part in any of this garbage, the gaming community is so unbelievably toxic. It's just wild. You will see the most insane takes in the whole world. And the sad part about it is that the rest of this freaking AMA is just literally a bunch of people trying to bait him into giving his political, viewpoints, which is, you should never do. He's never, see, that's what I hate so much about this hat controversy. It's ridiculous. People are pissed about the hat, and they want him to come out and speak against it, which again would make him pick a political side. That's not what gaming's about. Nobody cares. It was a meme. I'm here to say it again, and I'm going to make another video about this because I'm blown away by the stupidity of this community. If you're one of these people, you're a moron. I'm sorry to say it, but you're absolutely brain dead. If you are mad about a hat that is a meme that he has already come out and said there's no political value to it, then you are an idiot if you still have complaints about this, which is sad because the majority of Reddit is literally just that. Twitter is like a different world. Same thing with YouTube, it's a different world. But for some reason, Reddit is trying to bait this man into such a toxic field. It's such toxicity. It's like a poison. It's really sad to see. And the saddest part about it is that nobody will keep the same energy to any other celeb who has said this. None of them. Not even people are making statements about making Battlefield great again or make COD great again. Like, all these sayings are perfectly fine, but of course, for some strange reason, when he came out and memes it, everybody else can meme. Don't worry about it. Everybody else can make a meme about it, but God forbid, the CEO of 1047 comes out and memes it, then it's a problem. But, whatever. It is what it is. At the end of the day, they answered and responded to a ton of great questions. I'm so thankful for this team being open with us, talking to us, and laying it out how it is. This is what we need in the gaming scene. And honestly, I don't care what people say about me. I'm going to support this dev team all the way through. Doesn't matter. Even if the game doesn't make it how anybody wants it to make it, I'm going to be here. Just like with X-Defiant died down in player count. Do you think I care? People think it just makes no sense. I care about having a dev team that gives a crap about the community. That's all that matters. And that's what we have. So guess what? That is what I'm going to go ahead and support. And the best part about it, the cherry on top of the cake right now, is the fact that it's a good game. A good, great, smooth game as well. Not many problems. Easy fixes that could be resolved probably in a couple of months here. Not like a 1 to 2 year long process. No. This will be resolved. I'm very happy and thankful. But ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you enjoyed today's video, leave a like. If you hate it, leave a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell. I post daily here at 8 in the morning Eastern Time. And of course, if you guys are interested in my live streams, I stream Monday through Saturday over on Twitch, starting between 12 to 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, if you guys are interested, I'll link that channel down in the description of this video. But as always, thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.